Good morning. We acknowledge that we are residents or visitors on land that was never ceded, never given up by the Nisenan people who are still here among us despite the fraudulent removal of their federal tribal recognition. We seek to help We seek to help correct their erasure and exclusion from California history and to support their efforts to stabilize their people.
The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, return, return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, oh, aye, oh, aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, return, return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, return, return. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh. Aye, 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 oh, aye, oh, aye, oh, aye, oh.
Good morning. My name is Lindsay Dunckel, and I am delighted to be your worship leader this morning. It is so good to be together in this place, here in the room and on Zoom, made holy by our gathering together. We come together, we bring many identities, many intersectionalities, many beliefs, many burdens and joys. We come together to lift up our highest ideals, to find our best selves, and to seek the company of one another. I invite us all to set our worries, our burdens, our preoccupations aside for this time together. They most likely will still be there when we're done. You will not need them here. May we all find comfort and inspiration here this morning, perhaps mixed in with a little bit of awe. This morning, we're diving into the 7th principle of Unitarian Universalism, respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. As Carmen, Riley, and I were dreaming up how to lift up and celebrate this principle, Carmen said, "Let nature speak for itself." So I hope that we will experience that here this morning. We're drawing upon earth-centered traditions for this service, hence the circular orientation of the chairs, the central altar, and the items representing the elements. Late in his life, Albert Einstein wrote to a friend, "People like you and me never grow old. We never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born." We light our chalice this morning in honor of the great mystery into which we were born. May we find a way to tap into that awe we once felt so often. May we feel ourselves connected to the great web, not just connected to it, but a part of it, the wonder of being. We begin by calling the directions, a key ritual element of pagan and earth-centered traditions.
From the place of new breaths and new beginnings, we call upon the East with the blessings of air. May renewal and inspiration be brought to us upon the winds. Welcome, East. Welcome, East. From the place of action, with passion and compassion, we call upon the South with the blessings of fire. May the warmth and light of the summer sun bring growth and transformation into our lives. Welcome, South. Welcome. From the flowing place of emotions, we call upon the West with the blessings of water. May the parched landscapes of our lives be sprinkled and splashed, wetted and washed, bringing reflection and understanding to the world. Welcome, West. I get so confused. I know it's north. I'm just like, wait, am I facing north now? Yes, I must be, because it's the last one. From the resting place of healing embodiment, we call upon the north with the blessings of solid earth. May the nurturing ground hold us and help us to recover our wisdom and balance. Welcome, North. Welcome, North. The directions have been called and the circle is cast. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. From an essay called Awakening to Life by Jeremy Lent. Our mainstream culture, forged in medieval Europe and rationalized by reductionist science from the 17th century onward, tells us to find our identity in separation. But that old worldview of separation has expired. It's not just dangerous, leading us to the precipice of ecological devastation and climate breakdown. It's plain wrong. Modern scientific findings from fields as diverse as systems theory, complexity science, cognitive anthropology, and evolutionary theory all point to the same fundamental insight that wisdom traditions such as Buddhism, Taoism, and indigenous knowledge have been telling us for millennia. That our very existence arises from our interconnectedness within ourselves, with each other, and with the living earth.
The earth's iron in your blood allows you to use oxygen created by other species to empower your cells to live and produce energy. How strange it is when I hear people talk about visiting nature as if they're an outsider. With every breath, you declare your kinship with nature.
That was written by Jared K. Anderson. This is a poem written by me. It's called The Quiet. Sometimes, in the midst of the clanging and the clacking and the ticking and the clapping and the ringing and the talking and the chopping and the eating and the running and the stopping and the driving and the walking and the shopping and the washing and the planning and the doing, I find it, the quiet. And there is me and the wind soughing in the trees, and the chuck-chuck of the squirrel, and the creek talking to itself over there. I find it, and in it, I am infinite.
I baked you a pudding, my love. Mother, what's in the pudding? 'Tis fire from above. Fire, earth, water, air are in all that we see. And they made the pudding for you and for me. Fire made the pudding I raised from the sun, ripened the wheat till the harvest was done. Fire baked the bread that made eggs and milk thick. Fire red are the berries that you helped me pick. And how grew the berries? In ash mixed with earth, in fields cleared by fire, long ere your birth. Mother, whence came the fire? Storms in late summer sky, air charged with sparks, touching trees hot and dry. And whence came the storms, rain sent from the sea, far to the west, where your father has been? Father sent us the storms? Nay, the storms sent him home. 'Tis soon to be winter, no more shall he roam. You baked me a pudding, my mother, my love. Now I know what's in the pudding. 'Tis fire from above. Fire, earth, water, air are in all that we see. And you baked the pudding for you and for me. Thank you so much for the dancing. That was beautiful.
I saw many a toe tapping, and I could not help but sway back and forth. Thank you. So, how are you today? So, if someone asked you, "How are you? How are you really?" and you were to show on a scale of thumbs up to thumbs down, what would you show today? How are you? Really, how are you? Take a look around. Take a look around. Wow, times have changed a little bit since the middle of the pandemic time earlier on, I think. And always, right? Even with this, there are things we carry. So some of those are joys, happy things we've been really glad for, and always mixed in with those are things that are not quite so. Not quite so. And maybe even some things that are painful or difficult. So we take time each week to notice that in ourselves and also to share time together where we're aware of each other and all that we carry. We do it in this very simple way often. I invite you, if you're in the room, to do this today, to take a stone and place it in the bowl of water, letting the stone represent that whole range of thumbs up, thumbs down, all the way in between that you carry. And a chance for us to witness you and hold you, that bowl a symbol of that holding. And if you're online, there's a chance to type into the chat. It's our way of dropping a stone into the bowl with a little more specificity online. So if you're on Zoom, I invite you to type into the chat some of what you carry today. So during the music, I invite us to hold each other. And if prayer is your practice, now is the time to pray. And if simple stillness and breathing is your practice, now is the time to be still and attentive to your breath. I invite us to be aware of each other, no matter how internally we go ourselves. And if you wish in the room, I invite you to come get a stone. I know there are stones in there for Tracy and Pam and Wally and John. And I've added some for Pete and Connie. And I know there are stones for many other people who might be healing, might be in need of healing, recovering, and stones for much else. I invite us into a little breathing as a meditation, a little shared silence, picking up on the box breath that Gracie taught us last week. This is a breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just holding that air, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, resting there, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Resting there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Or your own pace. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Resting there. 2, 3, 4, 5. On your own.
Lao Tzu, I am so sorry. Lao Tzu said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished."
Chief Seattle is said to have said, "The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth."
This is from At Home in the Forest by Gary Snyder. One can choose to live in a place as a sort of visitor or try to become an inhabitant. We decided from early on to try to be here in the mid-elevation forests of the Sierra Nevada as fully as we could. This brave attempt was backed by lack of resources and a lot of dumb bravado. We figured that simplicity would of itself be beautiful and had our own extravagant notions of ecological morality. But necessity was the teacher that finally showed us how to live as a part of natural community. I'm talking about how one thinks about screens, fences, or dogs. These are often used for keeping the wild at bay. Keeping the wild at bay sounds like fending off hawks and bears, but it is more often a matter of holding back carpenter ants and deer mice. We came to live a permittable, porous life in our house set among the stands of oak and pine. Our buildings are entirely opened up for the long Sierra summer. Mud daubers make their trips back and forth from inside the house to the edge of the pond like tireless little cement trucks, pouring their foundations on beams and cracks. And if you're not alert, in rifle bore holes and backpack fire pump nozzles. They drizzle little spots of mud as they go. For mosquitoes, which are never much of a problem, the house is just another place to enjoy the shade. At night, the bats dash around the rooms, in and out of the open skylight, swoop down past your cheek, and go out an open sliding door. In the dark of night, the deer can be heard stretching for lower leaves of the apple trees. And at dawn, wild turkeys are strolling a few yards from the bed. It all does little harm. The price we pay is the extra effort to put all the pantry food into jars or other mouse-proof containers. Winter bedding goes into mouse-proof chests. Then ground squirrels come right inside for fresh fruit on the table. And the deer step into the shade shelter to nibble a neglected salad. You are called to a hopeful steadiness of nerves as you lift a morsel of chicken to the mouth, with 4 meat bees following it every inch of the way. You must sometimes, late summer, cook and eat with the yellow jackets watching every move. This can make you peevish, but there is a kind of truce that is usually attained when one quits flailing and slapping at the wasps and bees. It's true. Living and cooking in the outdoor shade shelters, someone occasionally gets stung. That's one price you might pay for living in the poorest world, but it is about the worst that can happen. There's a faint risk of rattlesnake bite as we stride along the little trails, and the ever-present standoffishness of poison oak. If you can get used to life in the semi-open, it's a great way to enjoy the forest.
This is a poem by local poet Maxima Khan from her book Fierce Aria. It's called Wild Earth. Wild earth, wild sky, how many times have the stars sung my name and I failed to listen? How many years have the trees been longing for my embrace while I stood apart? How long has the earth risen to meet me and all things conspired to bring forth my true unfolding while I stumbled into walls, muttering, alone, 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 worn thin, guarding against the worst, all the while the earth calling for my touch. Since the day of my birth, the river has been flowing, ready to carry me, while I paddled furiously, mustering my will. Now, my heart breaks open, hearing the singing, leaning my face against the cool of a rock that reaches for me. The structures that held my life, the false edifices of fear, obligation, guilt, give way, and I stand in wonder, humbled, not knowing who I am. As children, we delight in animals. We learn their names. We learn that not all four-legged creatures are doggies. We learn the sounds that they make. The books that we read are populated by animals. When we grow up, we continue to adore our pets. We revel in the birds and the wild animals that surround us here in Nevada County. Some of us go out of our way on vacations to see the local fauna. And last week, several people came together to try their hands at honoring animals by taking a 4-foot by 4-foot sheet of paper and folding and unfolding and refolding until it turned into a 3-dimensional animal. So now we get to have an animal parade. If you're willing to carry one of these delightful and extraordinary origami animals in a parade so that everyone can enjoy them, please make your way to the front alcove. There are at least 20 animals. Kevin's waving to you. And Beth is going to lead a parade around the room of these remarkable creatures. Who doesn't love a parade? The interconnected web of all existence of which we are a part, thank you, is resplendent with beauty, as we have seen this morning. May we rededicate ourselves to keeping in touch with our awe of the natural world as a way of sparking our care and concern for all of the earth. And a microcosm of that interconnected web is apparent right here at UUCM. It is through our gifts of our time, talent, and treasure that this haven, this node on the interconnected web is sustained. As usual, 25% of our offering is given to a local nonprofit. This month, we are supporting Color Me Human, which celebrates and supports the under-resourced communities in California's second whitest county. Founded by new UUCM member Tracy Pepper, Color Me Human's mission is to celebrate, elevate, educate, advocate, to create a safe, equitable world for Black, Indigenous, people of culture, and LGBTQ+ folks. Listen for ways that you might give.
Your generosity remains essential to our ability to sustain the work of our community. There are several ways to contribute. You may text an amount to 833-579-0483, give via our website at uugrassvalley.org, via PayPal at paypal.me/UUCM, or mail to UUCM 246 South Church Street, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Thank you.
For those in the room, if you would like 100% of your cash donations to go to Color Me Human, you may use the white envelopes for that purpose. We dedicate these offerings to the idea that all life is connected. Me to you, to the star Vega, to the black widow in the woodshed. May we find ways daily to remember that interconnected web and to uphold the health of our planet and all of its inhabitants. So many thank yous so many people go into putting together a service on Sunday mornings. Thank you to Carmen and to Beth for your help in fashioning this all. To Kate and Randy and Toby for your music, and Kevin as well. To Gary and Bob, our audiovisual team. To Kevin for editing the videos. To George Johnston and Corey Silver for their behind the scenes work, Eileen Hale, who's our chat host, to Shanti for the beautiful flowers, to Elizabeth Rose and Ruth Edwards for putting together our refreshments for after the service, and to all our origami makers who bravely folded and refolded and learned how to deal with frustration in the process. And now I invite you to join in singing Blue Boat Home.
Yeah, invite you to rise in body or in spirit. We need words, Bob. Bob. There we go. Now we're ready to sing. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry seas, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, never pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds
Thank you, North, for sharing space with us today and for bringing the blessings of the earth. May we be reminded to rest. Go if you must, but stay if you will. Farewell, North. Thank you, West, for sharing space with us today and for bringing the blessings of water. May we be reminded to flow. Go if you must, but stay if you will. Farewell, West. Farewell, West. Thank you, South, for sharing space with us today and for bringing the blessings of fire. May we be reminded to act. Go if you must, but stay if you will. Farewell, South. Farewell, South. Thank you, East, for sharing space with us today and for bringing the blessings of air. May we be reminded to breathe. Go if you must, but stay if you will. Farewell, East. Farewell, East. The directions have been released and the circle is now open, but unbroken. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
Khalil Gibran wrote, "Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet and the wind longs to play with your hair. May we delight the earth and the wind when we leave here. May we continue to lean over the edge in wonder. May we feel ourselves connected to all existence as we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again." See you next Sunday.